lively.
Because if they want it, Tim, they deserve it.
Controversial.
When the entire fabric of society breaks down...
Compelling.
I'll stand on the Piccadilly roof and I'll say, I told you so, you brain-dead moron.
The talk of the Northwest. James Stannage.
I told you so, baby.
Weekday evenings at 10, only on Piccadilly Gold.
I'd like to be much more angry and anarchistic and irreligious, but sadly the authorities don't seem to see it that way, because radio is such a personal thing. You can't insult them, you can't be cruel to them, because that's not what their local radio station is for, sadly. I think it'll come back where you don't have to, just has every single listener a right to come on and bore our brains out for 5 minutes, simply because they've taken the trouble to ring up and they deserve to be on because it's their radio station. I think no, they don't. But you've got to give them a chance.
James Stannage was a massive hit throughout Piccadilly land and was creating waves throughout the country as well. Comedian Jasper Carrot was coming back from a gig late at night and tuned in by accident to Piccadilly Radio on the way back, and he was shocked.
There used to be a bloke who used to, a DJ on Piccadilly called James Stannage, right? And this guy was amazing. And he was the best listened to DJ on Piccadilly Radio. But the thing is, he had this really late night show to do it. He had a show from 11 p.m. through till 2 a.m. in the morning, right? And he used to get the best listening figures of the day, like hundreds of thousands of people used to sit up and listen to this loon on the other end. He was the thing is, he was totally outrageous. The first time I ever heard him, this is a true story, right? I was working in Wigan, right? I was doing oral rugby club. There's nothing funny about Wigan. Well, there is, but forget it. And it was a late night do, and I drove home afterwards, and to get from Wigan to Bromley, you use the M6, you see. So, like, I'm belting down the M6, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And I'm bypassing Manchester, and I know nothing about Piccadilly Radio or James Stannage or anything. And, like, 1 o'clock, like, I was going through my radio dial, right, and I was trying to find anything that was English, right? 1 o'clock in the morning, there's naff all on, isn't there? You finally find an English song, you think, oh, great, and the end of it, you hear, Heinz Fine and Heidebitter. So, right, I'm belting down, right, and suddenly I come across this Mancunian accent, you see, and I thought, very odd, 1 a.m. And I couldn't believe what was coming out, this radio. I tell you, and I stayed on the hard shoulder for the rest of the show, Yeah, and I was like, people would phone in going, hello, James, I was wondering if I could have a request for my auntie. She's 73 tomorrow. They go, oh, sod off, you boring old cow.
It was just very early for its time. It was irreverent. It was never dangerous. I mean, we never had any libel suits against us or anything like that. Lots of people used to listen simply to hear me say, oh, shut up, you boring old cow, which didn't happen every night, and still lots of people had this idea that I was using 4-letter words in every link, which was just an absolute lie. I never, ever swore. Pillock was the worst thing I ever said, which is perfectly acceptable now, of course.